That's my elbow. Oh, I look so cute. My hair looks like okay. No. Oh, I'm glad I did my eyebrows.
Okay.
All right.
Let me see if get the questions to work. Are you?
Okay.
Is it not going yet?
Do I just click on this?
Yeah, of course. All right.
Oh wow! Why can they see the whole thing? Are they going to be able to see everything? Oh, I look so cute. Can we get? Can we make that not be on there when people click it?
It's everything that's happening right now.
No, take it off.
It's already live.
Wait, is it live or is it
not going? It's live.
Wait, can people see everything from the very beginning? Can we make that not be on there when people click it?
It's everything that's happening right now.
No, take it off.
It's already live.
Is it live or?
It's live. All right. So let's see. Let's see. I don't think you're joined correctly. Let's see. Let's see. Do you have any options up there? Where are the questions on there? You should have more stuff. All right. I can't tell if I'm the only one on here so far. So let's see. Let's see. I don't think you're joined correctly.
Oh.
Okay.
Now I can hear you.
Okay. I hope nobody else gets stuck with that.
Doing something weird.
I know that it's playing that.
No, the ding, ding, ding. You hear that? Okay.
Let's try joining again.
It's gone. It's gone.
Okay, so I've enabled the question and answers thing on there, so I'm not sure if I can get anybody else to show up here. Maybe there are other people here and I can't see you yet. Let me see. Maybe in the chat. There's a group chat. Okay, there's only one viewer right now. That's probably you. Okay. I think there's only one viewer. I'd like to figure out how I can get you to show up here also. I think we started like 10 minutes early, so probably going to be like 10 minutes of us figuring out how to get everybody in the same place. Here, let me try this. Are you joining again? Can you type anything to me? Here, let's try something else.
I can type right there, right?
Yeah. Here, hold on. Why isn't that showing up? Well, I want to figure it out.
What if I do this?
Hold on. I think you may have to install the app,
Are you
maybe.
going to watch? Are they already watching?
No. I've only got one viewer right now, and I think that's you.
What if I did this? Oops. What if I do this? Come on.
Why don't you try typing something in underneath it, maybe, in the comments?
Typing something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you go back to the page, see if it shows up for me anywhere. Okay. All right, I guess I need to figure out how to do this questions thing. Is anyone connected? Damn, I really wish we would have tried this out earlier or something.
This.
Okay. Just trying to figure out how this Google Hangouts thing works, if I can get anybody.
I'm getting this now.
You are? Oh, well, it's going to change in a second. All right. I wonder. Bill commands, group chat. None of these features are on. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out exactly how I can get it. So I'm not sure if I need to share like the chat or share the questions and stuff, but it's not working right now. That kind of seems like it might be important. Shoot. Okay, so how did you get that?
I went to this right here, and then Q&A.
To where?
To this guy right here.
Oh, okay.
And then
all right, so there should be a button. There should be a button that allows you to type questions and stuff. I was actually hoping I could get like other video feeds or at least audio. I think I have the settings so that if you wanted to share that stuff, you could. But either everybody's kind of shy or it's not very obvious how to do that. So anyway, I guess we can wait like a little bit, see if in the meantime I can figure out how to get other people so they can join. All right, let's see. Let me see. Okay. So this is in the question answers. Okay. Haha. Thanks, Nick. So Nick and Brooks have both figured out how to get to the questions section, the Q&A. There should be a little button on the top. What is it? The top right-hand corner, like just above the video.
3x3 squares.
There should be a grid of 3x3 squares. If you click on that, it's right next to either closing the window or expanding it. You should see a little Q&A section. And if you click on that, then you should see other people's comments in there. I apologize that there's no audio from anybody. I'd really like to figure that out. So maybe it can be like a little more interactive or whatever. But I would like to see just like everybody is able to send in a question, or I guess, you know, go into the Q&A section and post something. Maybe there's like a different thing we can use. You know what we might use is I'm going to go to Facebook and I'm going to, oh, it looks like we got some updates. I'm going to see if I can at least get like a Facebook chat going, so that like it's a little more real time, I guess. Just because it seems like there's kind of a big lag between when things show up in the questions and when I see them. But okay, we'll get started here pretty quick. Let's see. Okay, so it's hard to tell how long of a delay there is, but I'm looking at Brooks's screen, and there's definitely a delay from when I record it to when I see it. So if you post something and I don't see it right, or I guess if it doesn't seem like I respond right away, it's probably just like the video lag, which is kind of annoying. But hey, all right, Eric, yeah, what up, dude? Okay. Sweet. So, okay. Let's see. If you guys don't, if you can't find the Q&A section, go ahead and message me on Facebook, because I've got Facebook open, and then I should be able to help you. Okay. I think everything after just sort of like getting connected and making sure things are working should be, you know, pretty easy to do. I think there's just like getting connected is like the hardest part of this whole thing, is what it seems like. So okay, I am wearing pants. Thank you, Jordan. Oh shoot. So it's funny, you guys have the question stuff open. I'm not sure I can. Let me see if I can freaking answer this. Saying all these words. Yeah, it's funny, as I'm looking at Brooks' screen, and she's got a little comment box that she can use. But yeah, post that. But I don't have a freaking comment box, so it's like I pretty much just have to like answer through the video. I guess that's fine. Cool. So I will. Let's see. Hi, Julia. Eric, Julia. Nick is here. Tasha, hi. Okay, I'm gonna try to clear out all these questions now so that there's less sort of going on, and I can see if somebody actually like something new happens. Okay, all right. I think we're ready. Let's do this. I'm gonna go ahead and do a screen share so you guys can see my screen. You won't be able to look at my beautiful hair anymore. Let's see. Let's screen share.
Did you just clear out the link that I posted the thing on?
Oh, I might have. So
Reposting.
Brooks is going to repost the question or link just in case you don't have it and need it. But this is basically what we're going to be going through is this site, Code Academy. And I think it's pretty decent. Uh-oh. And so to get started, I'm going to share my screen, and there we go. Okay, so this is Code Academy. If you guys are at the website, you should see it. It's right here. If you have any questions, post them on the questions thing. Okay, so you can sign up however you want using your like Google or Facebook. I'm going to go ahead and do it using my Google because I don't think I've done that yet. And sorry, Tasha. And that way, we can all kind of go through the same way because I've already done it, and so I don't want it to like start in a weird place where you guys won't sort of recognize what's happening. Like you won't see the same thing on your screen. All right, so I'm accepting, of course, whatever terrible things I just accepted, but okay. So we're going to, so the one we're going to pick is we're going to pick web developer skills, and that's down here. I think, let's see. Oh, sorry, language skills. I lied. Haha, that was a test. So we're going to go JavaScript. And let's see. And then we're going to go ahead and start. So if anybody gets stuck, again, just like post a little question thing, and then maybe I can try to help you through. All right. Okay, so I actually think this is a pretty cool site because it does a lot to sort of just guide you through without a lot of guesswork. So the first thing it does is it tries to explain the different sections of the screen, and I mean basically what this thing will do is it'll give you small instructions, and don't overthink them. Just whatever it says to do, you kind of do it, but just to kind of get you in the habit of you know, taking it a small piece at a time. Let's see. So I'm not going to read all these things. I'm just going to kind of click through. But okay, so the instructions are on the left. The code is going to be entered right here in sort of the middle pane. You submit when you're done at the bottom, and then just follow the instructions. And for the first couple ones, I figured I would just go ahead and just tell you, let's just do this. You don't really have to think about it a lot. So instructions say, you know, put your name in quotes. The big thing they want you to do is just like put the like double quotes up there with your name and just be real specific. And then you should see, so I'm going to do that real quick. Oops. And so see, nothing special. And now I'm going to click at the bottom, the blue button that it called out, save and submit code. I'm going to do that. And oh my gosh, I just got a badge. I'm so awesome at code. If you guys have all done that, by the way, congratulations. You just wrote your first line of code. So in this box over here, it says, you know, it just says Bryant, basically says what I typed. Basically, the code you write over here, once you click submit, it should show you the results of that code on the right-hand side. Okay, so unless somebody wants to pop in with a question saying they're stuck, I'm going to go into the next lesson. Okay, so this one wants you to do like basically the same thing, but then put like a dot and length at the end. And you don't have to like think that through. Just remember, you know, I think they'll try to reference this later. Just like basically what this is doing is this is taking this the content between the quotes, and when you say dot length, it tells you like how long it is, like how many characters. And my name happens to be 6 characters long. It's really exciting. So let's just jump into the next lesson, unless I'm going too fast for people. I'm sure like, I had a bunch of questions as far as like how everything sort of fits together. If you're able to get the green light on the submit code area, whether you like totally understand what's going on, I don't think it really matters. Just being able to it's sort of gamifying the coding experience. And so, you unlock achievements and go forward. So basically it just said, okay, you can write your name within quotes, and that's code. You can write your name in quotes and put dot length afterward, and that's code too. So, and now it's going to say basically you can put any number you want and do some basic math. So like 3 plus 5, right? And when you go save and submit that code, you get 8. So is that right? Yeah, that's right. Just kidding. Okay, so next lesson. It's saying we can do the same thing with divide and multiply. Cool. So that's like, I'm going to do that stupid number and do this. Multiply is the star, the asterisk. So let's see what that ends up being. Cool. Yeah. So basically, so far, we've learned that in JavaScript, which by the way, that's what we're learning, JavaScript, is a language you can use. I'll show you cool ways you can like find out where you can use it later, but we know that we can do like math, so we can basically, use it as a calculator so far. That's kind of cool. See, error does not compute. There are things you can't do in the console. Let's see. So basically, the goal of this is to say that you can't just like type any words, and that's okay, right? So
Dick balls suck cock.
What's that?
This is what you typed in for mine.
Oh, did I? Oh, okay. Let's not say that. So I just I had already gone through the lesson with Brooks before, and it pulled up some weird stuff that I was showing her. But so if I try to submit this code, oh, it went to the badge too quickly. But it said, "Well done, you've confused the computer." So yay. Let's see. Okay, so next, why learn programming? Before I jump into this one, is anybody like totally lost? If you're totally lost, post a little question thing. But otherwise, it should be just like, if you're where I'm at right now, then good job. You did it. You're successful. Let's see. So comments. Let's see. So hopefully that was pretty easy. And out of all the sites I've tried, because the Code Week thing's going on they have a bunch of links that say, hey, go to these, it'll help you learn code. I don't think those are as easy or as fun, really. And so I think this site's cool. Sorry, a little tangent. Basically waiting to see if anybody has any questions that they want to post. So Okay. So I think maybe I'll just do that the next round. Okay, so because I already sort of hung out. All right, so this next one, editor and comments. So this is basically saying it's hard to know how much setup you need to like sort of describe some of these things. I don't know that this is a very interesting thing right now, but sure, we'll talk about it. So yeah, I'm typing some just nonsense stuff, which isn't code. If I want to have just like type whatever I want and not have an error occur in the program, then I just put these 2 forward slashes in front of it, and that makes a comment. If I go to the next line, notice that that only works for the line that you're on. So I can like, this is what people use to describe what's happening in code a lot of times, to give you know, other programmers some context in what's happening, without actually having it be code. So you can write some code, put in some comments to say what it's doing. And this, for some reason, wants you to say, okay, on line 3, find the length of the word cake. And so, so I'm going to put in cake, and hopefully I'm not ruining this for everybody. Length. Can I talk about spacing in JavaScript? Does what do you mean by spacing? Probably, I think it talks about like, you know, what, I don't know how to say it. I'm hoping, I can't hear anybody, so I'm hoping nobody's like totally lost, or like, I was actually sort of envisioning this as being more of an interactive conversation kind of thing, where you could say, well, I don't know about all this stuff, and I could be like, oh, okay, well, there's not really a lot to it. It's just this. So what this code is doing, cake. So this is like the code for cake. Oops. You can kind of think of it as like the Duolingo tries to do the, what is it, the 10,000 sentences to learn a language. And so you don't have to learn all the rules of the language and learn every piece of the vocabulary. But if you can learn how to do things one sentence at a time, then I guess you learn faster. But so cake, yeah, this is from earlier. So it's kind of like a, you know. Also, notice down here in the corner, it's got this stuck, get a hint. And you can click on that, and hopefully it helps you. And see this, it sort of gives an example of, you know, what they're sort of expecting. Oh, and look at this. I don't have like syntax. You could think of like computer programming languages as, you know, it's just a conversation with your computer. You're giving it instructions, but your computer's like real picky about your grammar. And so like, if you don't like put, if it's not like perfect, then it'll give you one of these like red errors up here, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and submit that. All right. Let's see. So confirm. All right. Let's see. So basically what this is doing is this is trying to get you so that you're writing a function. So you're gonna like, this is like a pre-built function guy. And you send it a value, you send it some like text and stuff, and then it does something with it. So let's see. All right, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and, like, if you're not reading the stuff on the side, am I going too fast to like read any of this stuff on the side? Does anybody want to post a question and tell me? Am I going too fast? Do you want me to read the stuff on the side? Anybody want to like throw in a vote here?
Have everybody clicking with that.
Use the questions thing. Also, if you don't know where the questions thing is at, the Q&A section, message me on Facebook and I will tell you, or I can just tell you right now. It's the little box above the video that has the 3x3 grid. If you click on that, you should see a Q&A icon you can click on, and that gets you there. Oh, it's my Facebook. Okay, so I don't think this is telling us to do anything. It just wants to show you it. So confirm, I can just kind of tell you the parts. Confirm is the name of the thing that you're trying to tell the computer to do. And then within these parentheses, you're giving it whatever you want. So all right, let's try that out. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see what just happened. Actually, everybody should try to click the button, and you should get a little pop-up that says, the page at Codecademy says, this is an example of using JS to create some interaction. Basically, the text that was inside of there. And you should be able to click OK or cancel. And if you click either of those, you should see on the right-hand side the result of that. So like I just clicked OK. And if you notice on the right-hand side, it's clicks, you know, the response is true. All right. Okay. And that was really exciting. So I'm going to change this text just for fun. It's not part of the lesson, but it's like this is, and I suggest you all do the same. So in between the little quotes, the single quotes, just put whatever you want. Say, this is really cool and stuff, or is what I'm putting. And when you, oh no, it doesn't let you do it again. Okay, well, never mind. That's going to be a waste of time. Don't change any of it. So it just says start the next lesson.
You can reset the code. Redo it.
Oh, never mind. Oh, no, you can't. You can only do that at the beginning before you click submit. Okay. So what we just saw was fun example of how JavaScript can be interactive. So it has some examples, and it basically wants you to try to write what you saw last time. So I'll give you a second to see if you can try to write your own. And if you guys have any questions, shoot me a question in the question thing. I'm going to basically have Brooks be my my guide as far as how long it takes to get through these. Okay. Yeah, I think there's a major delay also for the questions, but if I catch it later, then I will stop and go back. But yeah, the responses are great. Thank you, by the way, for just telling me that its pace is fine or whatever. So maybe summarize stuff on the side. Okay, yeah, I can do that. And yeah, we'll try to talk about JavaScript spacing. I'm sure it'll come up later. Okay. By by now, I'm sure you guys have all been able to type in some sweet code. For anybody that was stuck, I'm going to go ahead and type something in. So I'm going to type in confirm. Yeah, if I can spell. Confirm. And then I do a left parenthesis. And then you can do either single or double quotes. Doesn't matter. JavaScript doesn't care. What I'm going to do is double quote and then type stuff is cool and stuff. And then I do another quote and then a parenthesis, end parenthesis. And then I'm going to do a semicolon. And I'm sure that it'll talk a little bit about that stuff later. I'm going to try that out. Okay, I got a pop-up. And I'm going to cancel this time. Okay. Wait. Oh, it says it wants me to confirm. Okay. Dang it. All right, fine. So I'll submit again. And if you notice in the box up there, it said false. But if I do it now it says true. Okay, cool. So I can start the next lesson. Very exciting. Yay. You guys are basically hackers, by the way. I just thought you should know.
Wait, can I go? Yay.
Okay, so all right, so we're on to the next one. Programming is like writing a list of instructions to the computer, basically kind of what we're saying. So you can do cool stuff with your information. I don't know what they're talking about with your information, but anyway. Programs can't yet make your bed, but they can do math, keep track of your bank account, or send a message to a friend. To do any of these actions, the program needs an input, and you can ask for the input with a prompt. So, so if you were like making a web page, you could type this in. Says the instruction is use prompt command to ask the user where they're from. So I'll give you a second to type in prompt, and it's going to be very similar to the last one. So. And then see what happens. Go ahead and click save and submit when you think you're done. Maybe just do that each time and then try it yourself so I know about how long. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So you should have gotten a little pop-up, and then you can type something into the text box, and then click OK, and that should show up on the right-hand side, and I'll show you. So I'm going to type prompt, and okay, I'm going to prompt how coal is being cold. All right. So I'm going to do that, and then let's see. I'm going to try that out. All right, so cool. So I typed in some stuff, and it showed up on the right-hand side here. And sweet. Basically, you could make a web page. You could type this stuff in, and you could ask somebody a question, and then they give you the response, and now you've got the response. Later on, I'll show you how you can like get a hold of this stuff on the right-hand side and use it. But all right, let's go to the next lesson. So data types. Okay, cool. So data types are, luckily JavaScript only has a few of them, so there's not a lot to remember, but it is good to know what data types you're working with. So the first one are numbers, and numbers are pretty obvious, right? So that's what math's all about. And then there's strings, and strings are like just words and stuff. So like, you know, anything with quotes basically. So like, I'll give you an example. I'll just type out the ones they have. So like they've got Ryan, and so that's a string, and that's also a string, and we can even put numbers inside of a string. That's kind of confusing, but to JavaScript, anything within the quotes or single quotes or double quotes is going to be a string, and that becomes important to know later. You'll see, but these are numbers, so very exciting, right? Okay, so what are the instructions it wants to do? So to write, let's see. Oh, also, you know, with decimals, that's number 2. So let's see. Write a string with at least 3 words. Check out the above example of strings. Okay, so basically wants you to write out a string and then find the length of it. So it's like very close to what we did last time. If you get stuck, you can click the stuck, get a hint. And I'm actually curious, like if you guys, I mean, to me, you know, it's kind of like I already know a lot of these things, so I don't know how helpful each of these pieces are. They seem like they're, you know, they kind of, you know, cover all their bases as far as like trying to make sure you don't get stuck. But if you get stuck, or if you have like just sort of feedback on this course, I'm curious to know, because yeah, I think I'd like to do anything to make learning this stuff easier and, you know, have people not get stuck, I guess. Okay, so that's probably enough time. So I'm going to go ahead and do the example. This is cool. And then dot length. All right. And if I submit that code, all right, cool. I did 10, actually we all did 10 exercises, so you guys should all be really stoked. Later on, you'll see a chart that shows like your progress and tells you like exactly where you're at with JavaScript, which is cool. So we're on our way, yeah. Data type 3, so Booleans. Booleans are like true and false. They're like, yeah, so they're not string, they're not number, but they are true and false. And I guess it's like yes or no questions. And anytime in a program you want to say like a yes or no question, sort of like a, you know, to like steer people one way or another, you're going to use Boolean, right? And JavaScript can read this and read this and know that these two things, that their data type is Boolean. And I don't know if anybody's confused about why we're talking about data types or how they're important, but hopefully it's sort of implicit, you know, like you need when you have a program, you have data, like you go fill out a form on a website. Whenever you enter stuff into the fields, you're putting data in, right? And so programming languages can like instruct the computer to do stuff. Most of the time it's working with data. So so that's not too many data types. Let's see. So what are the instructions? Let's compare 2 numbers to return true result. First, write the string. I'm coding like a champ. I'm going to go ahead and cheat and copy paste that because haha. And next, find the length of the string using dot length. So we've seen that a couple times. So I can, at the end of this, go dot length. Then compare the string's length to see if it is greater than 10. And so it has an example up here where it's like 23 is greater than 10, 5 is less than 4 is false, true. You know, so hopefully you're able to sort of put together the pieces. It wants you to combine some of the things you've learned earlier. But for those of you who aren't sure, basically the result of this, it's going to come back with a number, and then you can compare it to a different number to you know, get even more of a result. You can think of it like you know, variables in a mathematical equation where you start plugging in numbers and then you're solving for a different thing. Anyway, so I'm going to do, what does it say to do? See if it's greater than 10. Okay, so I'm going to say, let's see, submit that. And yeah, okay, so see the result on the right is true. So JavaScript basically looked at that and said, okay, what does this mean? Okay, I've got this string. It's so many characters in length. So I get the length, and then I take the length, and then I evaluate, is the length greater than the thing on the right? Now, programming languages have like an order of operations kind of thing, where they'll look at different parts of the code and they'll say, oh, I know to do this part first, right? So it just happens to know that it's going to evaluate this thing on the left first, and then it evaluates that. It's not really important to know like the order of operations, because the goal is just to be able to write code that kind of reads like it should be instructions. So you can get away with a lot without really knowing that. But anyway, so you got it? Cool. All right, Brooks is rocking over here on this. Hopefully you guys are too. So kind of cool. It gets like way cooler when you start to piece some of the bigger things together. But for now, I would just be super satisfied if you're able to complete some of these lessons. So I'm going to go on to the next one. Console.log. So console.log is like the thing that JavaScript programmers use to like figure out what their program's doing. Because right now we have this box on the left where you type code and box on the right where it outputs code. Well, console log is what we use, because most of the time when the code's running, we don't actually see what it's doing. You have to like basically type this code in to have it show you what it's doing. That'll make a little more sense in a second. So let's see. Have you noticed that interpreter doesn't print out every single thing it does? If so, you want to know what it's thinking. Sometimes we have to ask it to speak to us. Okay, maybe that's a better way to put it. This will take whatever's inside the parentheses and log it out to the console. And the console is actually like a part of your browser that you can find if you're ever on a web page and you want to see what's going on, which is kind of cool. Makes you feel like a super hacker. But I guess people call it printing out. Let's see. So what are our instructions? So it says to basically to write console log and then put some stuff in between, right? So console log 2 times 5 is what it said, right? And then it does another console log dot log just some text or whatever. Okay, so first off, the syntax is console.log, right? And then you do the parentheses, and then just put stuff between the parentheses. Anything that's like math or, you know, string. All right, let's try that out. Okay, so wait a second. It looks like you didn't log hello to the console. Oh, because I just put some junk text. Okay. It wants you to be very specific, I guess. So, which is cool, because then, like, you know, I guess it's making sure that you're doing exactly what it's asking you to do. So I'm going to go ahead and save and submit. All right, cool. Done. Next lesson. And if you guys are feeling a little bit behind, once we get done with this section, I'll stop and see how everybody's doing. But okay, so far we've learned 3 data types: strings, numbers, booleans. Sounds good. List of comparison operators. All right, so greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to. Use each of the above. Choose the correct comparison operator, make each of the 4 statements print out true. Okay, so here's probably, I feel like maybe your first kind of actual like coding challenge. So we've got a bunch of code here, and hopefully you guys have gone through enough that you can kind of read this. And if you can read this and like you can deduce what's happening, that's awesome. So it's got an example on line 2, and it basically wants you to fill out like the operator on line 5 through 7. So I'll give you guys a little bit to try and figure that out. and then I'll help. Oh shoot, we already did yours.
Yeah.
Here, you want to try mine?
Whatever. These have already done too.
I want you to put those in there.
Okay.
So you're going to want to make sure that basically what you're doing is the comparisons. You see the list of comparison operators on the left-hand side. You're going to want to take one of those and put it between the two different pieces inside of each of those log function calls. Sorry, I just said function call. We haven't talked about functions, but that's what that is. Sorry, spoiler alert.
Woohoo!
Okay, so sorry, I totally forgot we're sharing screens, but Brooks just completed that one. So if you're not sure what to do, it's right there. So cool. So basically, yeah, you can compare two different things and then find out if that comparison, like what that yields, right? So whether one thing is greater than another thing. Like, hey, I've got a username I'm trying to put in. I need to make sure that that username is not greater than like 10 characters or something. Well, you can do that comparison like that. Okay. All right, so decisions. This is where we actually get to the logic part, which you'll be able to utilize some of those comparison operators that you've started to use. We're seeing a little bit more like syntax stuff. Those we call them curly braces. So basically, the way it tries to read like it would if you were trying to like say it with, just say it to another person, right? If, and then, whatever you put in the parentheses here, then, do the code inside of these curly braces, right? And this is a pretty like core part of any programming languages. Most programming languages have the if statement, and it's actually the word if, and a lot of times it also has the parentheses as well. So if parentheses, you put something in there, then it does whatever code's inside of here. So what does this want us to do? So it wants you to change the code that's in there to say, oh, it looks like it has sort of the answer. You could just copy that code that's in there and paste it in there. But maybe you wouldn't have figured it out as well on your own. I'm not sure. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and give you a second, though. All right, so on line 1, add a condition inside the parentheses, which they call these, by the way, a conditional statement. So it only does this code if, the first what's in the parentheses is true. Are y'all done? Did you do that? Did you?
Yeah, like a year ago.
Oh.
I didn't do that just now. No.
Oh, I thought I cleared your screen and.
You cleared it for the last.
Oh, okay.
The last one.
All right, undo.
I just want to look at it.
Okay, so let's see. We're going to type a name, and we're just going to copy this stuff. We're going to say the length of my name is greater than or equal to 7. And then in here we'll say you have a long name. So we put the quotes around that stuff. Okay. Okay, so I think this is what it wants us to do. Basically what's going to happen is the computer will look at this and say, if this text, the length of it is greater than or equal to 7, then run this line of code. So console log, you have a long name. Let's see if it works. Oops, try again, make sure you put a condition in line 1 that is true. So this apparently is not long enough. So I'm going to say Bryant Izzle. All right. And boom, we have a long name. Woot. Okay. I think maybe next time, like if I do like a training thing, it's probably going to be more in person, just because like it's kind of funny, like going through this, like it's hard to tell like radio silence or whatever, if it's helpful, if it's not helpful. I mean, you guys could always like post a question thing, but there's always a little bit of a delay, so it's kind of annoying. But let's go to the next lesson. How many lessons do we have left, by the way? Computers make you think. Okay, so
I did this one too.
oh, wow. So why, let's see, why do you suppose they use curly braces at all when console log runs a statement by itself? Why use the curly braces at all? So the reason you have curly braces is because I'm gonna clear this code out for a second. Is because, so I'm just gonna put anything. We'll just put true. If you have the curly brace, you actually don't need the curly brace. You could just say if console.log, log, and then this stuff, right? And this will run, and it will run only when that stuff is true. Actually, let me select that I'm answering your question, Tasha. Okay, so the question is, why do you suppose they use curly braces at all when the console log runs the statement by itself? And you don't need the curly braces. When it hits this part of the code, it'll say, okay, is this true? If it's true, then it'll run whatever the next line of code is. And so it'll only run it, like if I were to say false and then run it, it wouldn't run this console log line at all, right? So if I put the console log by itself, I mean, that's going to run no matter what. But we want to have the console log only run when, you know, some condition, right? Like this is always going to be false, so it's not as interesting, right? Like it's never going to run. But if it were like a statement in here, like we've written earlier, where it's like, you know, name dot length, within 12 or something, you know, then well, of course, this name is always going to be the same. But in the future, you can make it so you don't actually know what's here. Like it'll be, just pretend that you can like write a statement in the if where you don't actually know what the value is until somebody puts it in. Like for instance, we could use the prompt. Put the prompt inside of there and say prompt, you know, some question, right? And then when you answer the question, or actually it's not, what was it? It's not prompt, it's the other one that we did. I can't remember. See, I can't even remember. Is it prompt? Anyway, so when you answer this, if you cancel, then the result of that is false, right? So it doesn't even like do this thing. But if it's true, then it will do this thing. So I'm not sure if that, so the curly brace actually, I kind of went on a little bit of a tangent, but hopefully we didn't get too far off track. The curly brace, you don't need it for one line, but you do need it if you want to do like a couple lines, right? So I'm going to do this console like this many times, right? And so that means everything inside the curly braces, everything will be run. So, okay. All right, good. Woot. Okay, so let's see what this, I'm going to reset the code here and then see what this is asking us to do. So great, if we use an if statement, we can do something to answer the condition was yes or true if we say in JavaScript. I had no idea what that just said. So basically, whatever the result of that stuff is in there. If your name is shorter than 7 letters, we can respond, have a short name. So when it's false, we can also do something. Okay, so this is just trying to do this else part. And it's already set up some code for you to see. So it's got the if. There's nothing in the parentheses for the if yet. And then the else, it's got, it's basically, it's trying to say, okay, you're going to add some code here, basically, right? So whenever this isn't true, then it does the stuff in the other block. So this with the curly braces down here. Let's see. Okay. So let's see what it's asking us to do. On line 1, fill in the condition that will evaluate false. So by evaluate, it's kind of like I was saying, the order of operations of like how it like tries to figure out what you're saying. It'll like, when we did the string.length is greater than 7, it was like the whole thing altogether, resulted in either true or false. So you're going to put something in here in the if that results as false, evaluates as false is how they say it. And if not, then it's going to execute this else block of code. So it won't do what's in the if, it'll do what's in the else. And then I think that's what they're hoping to see is like if you put something like console log something in here, right? Like stuffs, then it'll execute that. So here, in fact, I'll just kind of show you. Let's do if true, right? So I could do something more interesting here, but I'm just going to give it true. So if true, so what I expect is that it runs this first line of code in the right. Okay? Let's go down the first road. Okay. Son of a gun, it actually closed it. It's only supposed to, I did it wrong. Let's try it again though. Can it? Will it let me? So notice, I just want you to see that the console log, this let's go down to the first road, it only did that one. And so you see that over on the right here. But had I put false, it would have done this guy. And I don't see a button where I can sort of reset that one. Maybe I can start it over. I'm going to click start next lesson, then I'm going to go back there. Okay. So I'm going to try running this one now that I've got the false and that. So see what happens. Yay. So notice that in the right, it only did stuffs. So this if and else, That's how you make it either do one section of code or another. It's pretty simple. Hopefully I didn't like over-explain that too much, but that's its whole purpose. It's like, how do you make it so you only run code sometimes? Okay. Let's see. So now let's practice using if-else statements. Do as much as you can by yourself. If you need a reminder, click the stuck get a hint button. So it wants you to write an if-else. And it shows you the outline of what your code should look like. So I'll go ahead and help you with this. So I'm just going to copy and underneath this stuff, paste in the code that I had there. And then 2, your condition is true. Oh, what? Pull the or push the refresh, it will restart the lesson. It'll keep the info. Oh, okay. Thanks, Tasha. See? I don't know how to do things, I guess, sometimes. See, even computer programming, you like don't know how to do the simplest things. So that won't solve that problem. Let's see. So second step, if your condition is true, use console log to print the condition is true. If the condition is else, use console log to print the condition is false. Okay, cool. So it looks like we only have one more after this, and then we can take a break and maybe do some questions. Oh, whoops. We're running a little over time, but hopefully this kind of gets you set up to be able to work on your own. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Hopefully that's enough time. If it's not, I'm sorry. But so we basically, let's see, if it's true, console log, the condition is true. Okay, so these comments don't matter. We can get rid of them. So we're going to say console.log, the condition is false. Oops. Oh, it's like wrapping it to the next line. Let me maybe expand that. There we go. And then this one, I'm just going to copy this. Condition is true. All right, so I still haven't filled out the condition yet, though. Could look like, let's see. And so I'm not sure what it's asking to do. If it says, you know, if I should put in something that's true or not. So I'm just going to put true. Why not? Okay. Oops. The condition evaluated to true, it should evaluate false. Okay. So I'm going to put false in there. Okay. Cool. Next lesson. Computers aren't that smart. So this is basically saying, hey, your computer is going to be real picky, like I was saying early on, like with the grammar, right? And so if you don't type it out just right, it's like not going to know what is going on. So in this example, there is a problem with the code that will make it so that it does not execute. So if you could take a second and look at this and see if you see something about this code that would make it not work correctly. Let's see. Computer doesn't worry about extra spaces between words or brackets, so doesn't care about this. Right? And that's, I guess, to your point, Nick, earlier about spacing in JavaScript. So some computer programming languages do care more about spaces, but it's not really important. You get sort of the core aspects of how languages work, and you know, those kinds of rules are easier to learn. So it just cares about the order of where you place things. Yeah, because it like when it reads the code, it does it line by line. So there's a program called a linter. It's checking your code. All right, so that's like a you don't need to know what a linter is. But it's basically saying there's tools that can help you figure out if there's something wrong with your code. So let's try submitting this code. So unfortunately, like programming has like, you know, I'm sure everybody's seen like really cryptic like error messages, right? That are like reference error, invalid, you know, just like something that's like, yeah, what am I supposed to do with that? I have no idea. And yeah, they have those. As a programmer, you will start to like understand more what those are trying to say. But even still, if it's like sort of generic enough, you know, you just, there's no way anybody could know what it means. But invalid left-hand side in assignment. Okay, so basically you can't use this like one equals sign. And they haven't even talked about like what a single equal sign means, so I'm not sure why they have that in there. But that fixes that. So is there anything else that might be wrong in here? Let's try it again. Okay, so it looks like down here I'm getting some just the errors telling me what's wrong. So remove the semicolon on line 8. Semicolons don't belong after if statements. So yeah, but it hasn't told you where you need them. So JavaScript, technically you don't need them anywhere. So that's sort of like old school programming, like legacy stuff. Okay. So yay, we did it. Okay. So I think there's like, there's more lessons in here. If you guys want to continue, you can. If you get stuck, you know, let me know, and you know, I can help. I think I'm not sure I'm like super stoked on the format of this, just because I don't think it's like I would have liked it better had everyone been able to sort of like say, hey, this is like either not interesting or not getting it. Like, I don't know how to apply this, but I'll just sort of briefly say what I think could happen if you, like what the path looks like. So just doing this stuff, I think, okay, so I'm going back here. It says I've got 8% completed. And it shows you all the different things to learn. And it seems like a lot. It is probably a little bit, but you know, I think just sort of learning the basics, you can get a long way. There's people that, and so this beginner level, I think all this stuff combined, yeah. So you learn objects too, right? You get all the way down there, and that's pretty hardcore. I don't know. That's like, I would say that's probably you're at intermediate level, and there's a lot of people that like work at intermediate level, you know. And so how do you use that? You can go to, I guess, to close on some of this stuff before asking a bunch of other questions. But the big thing is like, you know, beginner, let's see, beginner, you know, you can go to Stack Overflow. Basically, you can Google something. You can say how to save a file JavaScript, right? You can ask whatever you want, and one of the top answers is generally going to be like from Stack Overflow, and this will have just like any kind of like question you ask. It's got an example with code in here, and that's honestly how most programmers go about. And you wouldn't have to know any more about exactly how the language works, and you could probably build lots of stuff. So you could go on further than that and become a better programmer, which would make a lot of these things, you know, sort of the way you solve them easier. And, you know, if you want to actually build software that like, you know, you continue to use, and it's not just kind of like stuff you do that you throw away, or just as, you know, I would suggest Code Wars. Basically, codewars.com is really cool. Okay, so I'm already logged in. Let me sign out real quick. Does this have the entry page? So Code Wars is really cool. And if you think you might be good enough at JavaScript that you like want, like if you get through the Codecademy stuff, you can always jump into this. And honestly, I think doing this, you know, you can be at any of the, at the same level as any other JavaScript engineer. So you could get a job and, you know, be working with JavaScript and be, I mean, that could be how you earn your living. So that's, I mean, even though it seems like potentially a lot to go through, it could be very valuable. So I would encourage you to do that. And if you have any questions, let me know. This is fun. If I do something again, I think it's probably going to be more in person or more actual like video chat kind of thing. But you know, where everybody can respond and there's not such a like massive delay. But thanks everybody for joining, and I hope you learned a little bit. I hope you had a little fun at minimum. You know, you could say that you've written some code, so and that you participated in the hour of code. Code week. I don't know. I'm not sure what they're calling it, but anyway, cool. Thanks, guys. Any questions anybody wants to ask, I'll hang out for a little bit longer and see if I can answer any. Thanks for hanging out, Tasha. And yeah, bigger picture stuff. I think that kind of, I think I touched on it a little bit, but you know, I can always talk about it more. So. I don't know how long the delay is. Yeah, Nick, I'm with you. I'm not sure why the Google Hangouts thing is like, it would be cool to have everybody like video in and be able to ask questions and sort of have it be real time. That would be cool. But yeah, maybe next time I'll like figure out the format so that it like is more fun, like more interactive, where you feel like you're more a part of it, I guess. Because it's supposed to be just like, I mean, there's not that very many of us like hanging out doing this, so it would be cool if everybody was kind of just like felt like they're involved. It's not too many people, you know. So I think you, okay, so Eric asked, do you think it's a good idea to know HTML, CSS before JavaScript, or is it okay to jump into JS? I think that JavaScript is great because it has so many similarities with other languages. If you wanted to actually maybe not do web programming ultimately, but do something like more hardcore, like, or like, I don't know, like there's JavaScript that's used outside of the web for like programming with robots and lots of cool stuff where you know, HTML and CSS won't help you there. Also, you know, there's got like, I program JavaScript at work, And I got to tell you, like, I beat my head against the wall with CSS. I don't think I'm very good at CSS, but I do know HTML. I think it's good, but you can learn JavaScript and use it sort of in isolation, you know. But yeah, oh, cool. Yeah, so I would say definitely learn JavaScript, because the things you learn in like how you write code, that's, I think, the biggest sort of mind, like, you have to like change your perspective on what code means to you. Because I think before I started coding, code was like super nebulous, and like I was overcomplicating it all the time, and I didn't realize it. And so you learn the basic pieces, you try to solve problems with it, and like when you think of a problem you may want to try to solve. Anyway, yeah, hopefully that answers your question, kind of. Sorry, I probably answered it badly. Thanks, Jordan. Awesome, dude. Yeah, I hope you crank through it, and find out what you think about, like, just if you thought like it was fun or hard, if you got stuck anywhere, if you got bored. Because I think you can, like, I mean, programming really is like super fun. So like you should be able to, jump into programming, and there's always a way to do it where it can like be fun, I think, because it's a super fun thing. Like my day job, like working with code is really fun. It's very similar to just doing puzzle challenges. Like if you like playing puzzle games on your phone, I think you'd probably like coding a lot, And so I'll do like different puzzle games where it just kind of like makes you sort of little challenges to, like, how you I don't know, there's like the blocks game where you have to like figure out like, how do I move around these blocks to like get, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to try to describe a game. Cool. Good. Sweet. Well, sorry, Tasha, I think I answered these questions earlier, but yeah. Oh, sorry, Nick. So Sublime Text, yeah. I think it would have been hard with this format. Maybe a different format, I could do something like that. But I am nervous about like trying to show too many things up front, just because it's like, I don't know if like it's going to be too much, to try and figure out, but all at once, So you're already learning code. You're already trying to figure out like, oh, okay, I'm writing code in some website thing. And then I don't want to show like a bunch of other stuff where it's like, why am I looking at this? So let's see. Okay. I don't know if you're still here, Tasha, but yeah, so thanks. Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like there's like going to be a good way to do, the instruction for it, that's going to be a little more palatable and maybe like sort of connect some of the dots. I think that's one of the hardest things when you start out doing, trying to learn programming, is really saying, how am I going to apply this? But then once you learn, like you can find small ways to apply it. And if you just keep doing it, you find like a reason to do it that's kind of fun. Then you'll, it sort of opens up other worlds, I feel like. But yeah, so really trying to do I think this Codecademy is really cool, because like it tries to focus on one piece of the language at a time. And then once you like, learn those pieces, you can just practice applying it, which that Code Wars thing is a great like sort of gamified how you apply what you've learned. But anyway, all right. I think I'm out, and I hope you guys had fun. And yeah, you know, if you're interested to do it again, and maybe if I figure out the like format stuff, then we do it again. But yeah, cool. All right. Have a good one.